Hello, my name is Adam Lynchy, and on today's episode, I will be discussing Rhinopithecus avunculus, which is also known as the Tonkin snub-nosed monkey. It is an old world monkey, meaning it is a type of Cercopithecine. This primate is critically endangered. It is endemic to Vietnam, endemic meaning exclusive or restricted to one area, and most reside in the region Nha Hang, along the Gam River, and some in the Ha Giang province in Vietnam. Not many know about the Tonkin snub-nosed monkey, and it's for these exact reasons, because they're exclusive to Vietnam, and they mostly reside in the southern lowland dry forests, northern lowland rainforests, and Red River freshwater swamp forests. And it's important that we learn about Rhinopithecus avunculus and try to understand why they are endangered so that we can work to prevent them from going extinct. I'll begin with some physical traits. This monkey has a very unique appearance. Its lips are pink and puffy. Its nose has almost no surrounding cartilage, so it resembles sort of its skull. We have as humans, a lot of cartilage surrounding our nose. This primate has almost none. And that's where their name comes from, actually. That's what makes them known. Rhino in the genus name Rhinopithecus refers to nose. The fur on its belly is sort of a cream color, and the males have orange highlights on their fur surrounding their neck, sometimes even around their armpits or their hips. And their fur on their backside is black, sometimes gray in infants. And then they have a powderish blue or grayish color surrounding their eyes. They do have a slight sexual dimorphism. So as I referred to the orange coloration around their necks, that's only seen in males. And then males tend to be a lot larger than the females as well. So males weigh in at about 31 pounds on average, whereas females are about 19 pounds on average. And they have quite a long tail. Aside from their sexual dimorphism, this is just both males and females. Their tails range from about 26 to 36 inches. So very long. And now I'll go into a bit about their day-to-day lives, their social dynamics. So due to their endangerment, we don't actually have a lot of concrete data on their lifespan. Based on other members of their genus, we do estimate Rhinopithecus avunculus live roughly in their teens or 20s. And anthropologists have observed them living in groups roughly between 12 to 15 individuals, though we assume that if not for their endangerment, they likely would live into groups up to into the 30s. This is also based on the social living and group sizes of other members within the genus. So Rhinopithecus avunculus regularly perform allo-grooming, which is a process when one individual grooms or cleans another individual. So although they do groom themselves as well, there is a single study that showed Rhinopithecus avunculus spend about 70% of their overall grooming time allo-grooming. So they're very generous. They're very giving. Anthropologists have also observed this hiccup-like call. This specific observation was when a group was apparently surprised by human contact. So we don't actually know if they use it outside of this as well, but it is believed that this call could be used within groups outside of being alerted to potential danger, and just used as simply to keep the group members aware of where each other are located. Other genus members are known to make calls ventriloquially, which means without the use of their mouths or without opening their mouths. This hasn't been specifically observed in Rhinopithecus avunculus. However, it's quite possible that they are capable of sounding ventriloquially because other members of their genus are. Anthropologists believe that Rhinopithecus avunculus may communicate through posture and expression more so than anything else. So if you look at photographs of the monkeys, they're very expressive. I'll show a couple here. They can look a bit surprised, potentially even miffed, if you will. Some look a bit sad, like this individual on the right. Of course, these are all opinions-based observations. It's relative to our human expression, and we don't actually know if that's related to any of their emotion. But it's what prompted me to my research. It's what drew me to this primate. So I thought I would mention it. Now I'll go into their extinction. Like I mentioned before, this primate is critically endangered, so this means that they are in the most extreme stage of population status before extinction in the wild. So we look at this chart here, they're on the brink of extinction in the wild. We really only have observed 150 to 250 individuals in the wild. So it's sort of an estimate, but very few nevertheless. Both legal and illegal logging and additionally unsustainable hunting are the two primary contributors to the primates' endangerment. So logging has affected these primates for years, as their population has declined about 80% in the last 40 years. But more recently in the Nha region, the harvesting of black cardamom, which is a spice that's common in Vietnamese cuisine, has led to further decrease in population. So canopies in which the monkey resides and heavily relies on for food and place for reproduction, these canopies are thinned in a process that's referred to as shade lopping. Black cardamom requires a specific amount of airflow and sunlight to thrive. So the thinning of the forest canopy is kind of crucial for the cultivation of black cardamom. However, it is the leading cause of deforestation in the habitat which the primate resides, and so it's leading to their extinction, unfortunately. Additionally, the cultivation of the seed requires a drying process, which occurs over an open fire. And so trees are felled and used as firewood, which is further contributing to the deforestation in the Nha region. And with this increased human population, with the cultivation of black cardamom and harvesting, we have seen an increase in hunting of Rhinopithecus avunculus. So you might assume they're hunted or targeted because, they're to be eaten. It's actually not for those reasons. So they are targeted for use in traditional medicines, although I cannot confirm any scientific basis for their medicinal properties, but they are used in Vietnam for traditional medicine. But there is hope for Rhinopithecus avunculus. So the New England Primate Conservatory confirms that the primate is living in 2 protected areas, and we also have leads on a couple unconfirmed reports of protected living as well. So outside of the 150 to 250 individuals living in the wild, we do have some in protected captive areas. The Denver Zoo has actually made efforts to offer alternative methods to drying black cardamom. So they've offered these methods to the harvesters in Vietnam. These methods include rocket stoves, which would allow harvesters to dry the cardamom seed pods without the use of felled trees for fires in the Nha region. Additionally, Fauna and Flora, which is a nonprofit organization, they are working to conserve habitats. They're training patrol groups and monitoring the populations. As they're a nonprofit organization, donations are a crucial part of their funding. So if you wanted to donate, donations can be made at fauna-flora.org, spelled fauna-flora.org. And that would offer a significant contribution to help support this endangered species. So with that, I'm going to be wrapping up my podcast. Thank you for your interest in anthropology.